Welcome to the MNSpiritCast. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the MNSpiritCast. Casey, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. It's been a long time, man, and I'm glad to be back on the panel here. I must say you did fantastic with the Washington show last week. Great show, and we're actually turning that guest into a panelist tonight. We have her and lots of more amazing people on. So welcome everybody to the Connecticut version of MNSpiritCast. We have a great guest for you, and we're going to introduce him here in a minute. So first of all, you guys know her. She squeaks a lot. It is Sarah Russell. Welcome.
Oh.
Unmute yourself.
Back to my old tricks. Hi, everybody.
And we're back after the technical difficulties. Welcome, Sarah, and it's good to see you back on our side of the podcast here as a panelist instead of a guest. Amazing show last week. You guys did fantastic, and it was good to hear a lot about Washington and all the history you guys got there. So we have a great show in store tonight, and glad you're here to be with us.
Thank you.
So to make this show even better, we have a very special guest panelist on the MNSpiritCast tonight. You guys might know her from Sixth Sense Paranormal. Here is Anna Gatlin. Welcome.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. And
Of course.
This is your first time on the show as well, and it won't be the last. Just putting it out there for everybody. But we're glad you can make it to be part of our show tonight. So
Of course. Wouldn't have missed it.
So, let's not keep him waiting. I see him back there being very impatient, bouncing off the walls and everything. Everybody from Connecticut, he is known as the best gummer of Connecticut, AJ Capasso.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Much appreciated. So, let's just do a little adjusting here. There you go. Looks good. So, welcome everybody. Full panel here to the MNSpiritCast, and it's been a while since I've been on here, and we have some new faces on here too. So, audience, feel free to ask questions if you got anything for AJ here, and you guys might know him from Talking with the Source, which is his podcast. So, AJ, let's start a little bit about talking about what Talking with the Source is and what exactly it is you talk about, what you do, and how you came up with the idea of the show.
Coming up with the idea of the show is actually funny, but I'll tell you a little bit about what it is first. Talking with the Source is an international paranormal podcast where we have on researchers, mediums, every single niche in the paranormal field. All these researchers come on, share their evidence, share their knowledge with us, and we just have a good time meeting new people. We have on well-known people like Patty Negri, actor Rick McCallum. We have on like a lot of well-known people, and we also have on local people as well, which is really cool because we learn from every single one of them. But
Yes.
coming up with the show though was actually funny. I was in school for radio and film, and my teacher saw we did a mid test, and the test was you had to do a podcast with your team. And we did a podcast, and they wanted to do about sports, so I added paranormal into the sports. Somehow I did it. I don't remember how, but I did. And my teacher was very awed by how I was in front of the camera. So he was like, "Oh, I'll help you do this podcast. You should do this for your paranormal stuff. I watch your stuff. This is the idea. I'll sponsor you." And then once I ended school, he literally would not pick up his phone, would not answer anything. So I got so pissed off. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. I don't need you. So it was kind of like a spit in the face. It wasn't anything serious. And then all of a sudden it turned into something super serious, and it like blew up. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I ran
Very
with it.
cool. That's awesome. I hope I'm spelling this right. Connecticut. There we go. That's how I remember how to spell Connecticut.
Me
Connecticut.
too. Me too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
There we go. Connecticut, everybody. Welcome to Connecticut. Like there's any other damn Connecticut out there.
Don't make Linux right now.
That's very cool. So you said this was one of your teachers?
Yeah, one of my teachers at the radio and film school that I was going to, and he gave me the idea, and he was supposed to sponsor it. He was supposed to help me with it, get it started and everything. And then he helped every other person in the class except me, and literally would not answer my emails, would not answer my phone calls, nothing. And I was just so angry.
Man.
I was like, I'll do it myself. But you know what? I thank him, because if it wasn't for him like giving me that motivation, I would never even got into this, because this wasn't something I was into. So
Right. Well, I mean, obviously it worked out great for you, and we're glad you stuck to it, because if anybody here has seen Talking with the Source, it's an amazing show. You have hundreds of episodes, right? I mean,
actually, we're actually coming up on, I think, near 100 soon. So
Wow.
very cool.
Wow.
So you've been doing it a while, obviously.
Yeah.
I believe we're coming up on 100 episodes of this show too. So, I mean, for the fact that you have the motivation and the willingness to do this after he give you that little, kick in the butt there to get it going.
Yeah.
You stuck with it, and it turned out to be a great show. So we're glad you did.
thank you.
Big shout out to him and for all that. So tonight we're talking about paranormal in the state of Connecticut, and it's a state that a lot of people do not talk about. It's a state that's kind of swept under the rug a lot. We don't hear a lot about it. We don't hear about the evidence or anything that goes on. So you tell us a little bit about the activity of Connecticut?
Well, first, I just want to say that the reason why people don't hear about Connecticut is because people call it the place with no hopes, because it's in between New York and Boston. So there's kind of like a gap of Connecticut. But so the paranormal is actually really awesome in Connecticut. I mean, I personally love the cemetery aspect here. Cemeteries here, some of them date back to 1600s. I mean, they have Puritan marks on them. They have some of them, like especially near my house right here, we have one that is so old from the 1600s that they actually have witchcraft symbols on them for protection. And it's really crazy. And it's from Salem days when the witches and all that kind of stuff from that 1600s. Those Puritans traveled down this way. And it was pretty cool to see all this. So I love personally going to those type of places because I get so much activity out of them. It's just amazing. And it's also, you don't have to worry about people bothering you, which is nice.
Right.
Very cool. Now, I wish I could say the same about Minnesota, but this state is crazy as hell. So, which actually it's pretty cool because we have 5 different states here with us tonight. That's super cool. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Connecticut, Georgia, and Washington all in one show. Very cool. So
Very.
five different, perspectives of paranormal. So we've heard about almost all of them, and everything seems to be pretty cool right now. So before we dig deep into what you guys do, and welcome to everybody in the audience here. Thanks for joining and watching us. So before we dig deeper, do you ever get calls from people that are in New York or Boston or Massachusetts?
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I actually just got one the other day. It was from New York. A lady, she had her and her daughter, I guess, are experiencing some paranormal activity. Right now, it's kind of hard for me to travel. My car got into an accident about a year ago, and I haven't just had the money to get a new car yet. So traveling's a little tough for me right at the moment, but I do have a lot of people that I reach out to. So if someone does call me and they're in a different state, I normally can pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, Parafam, I need somebody here. Can you guys help a family out?" And then normally they'll send that person out, and I'll keep in contact the entire time. But it's great to have those friends,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely, and it's nice too, because throughout the years, we've been going for 3 years on Minnesota Spirit Hunters. August will actually hit 3 years. So throughout those 3 years, we've gained followers and other fans and friends in almost every single state. So we always have somebody who can help, and we'll never leave a client. We'll never leave them hanging. We'll always get them some help, and like what you said, not everybody has the money to go do this, because all in all, I fund Minnesota Spirit Hunters with my personal money.
Yep.
And I don't always have the money to do that. So, and it all takes time and money and dedication and all that. So I completely get what you're saying there. Traveling can be hard. So absolutely. So, first of all, tonight I want to hear a little bit about how you got started in the paranormal outside of your podcast. What made you believe in paranormal?
I was a big non-believer, to be honest. I was very skeptic. I did not believe in any of it. I actually turned away from God because I lost my grandfather when I was 12 years old from lung cancer, and I thought that God was going to heal him. And I was so hurt as a child that I was like, you know what, screw God, I don't need him. And then it wasn't until I was older and I actually got into a drug addiction. I was addicted to opiates. I turned from painkillers into heroin, and I ended up overdosing 12 times. And the last time that I overdosed, I left my body, and I went through this. I saw my body as I was standing there. I saw my body, and I won't go into all the detail of it, but I basically went to heaven, what I think is heaven, and I was in front of this light being. I don't know who it was. Maybe God, I'm not sure. Told me I wasn't supposed to be there, and I got sucked back down and back into my body. And I remember all of it, and into detail and everything, and it freaked me out so much. And when I came back, I started to have all these feelings. Like, I would feel energy in the room, I would feel beings in my house, I would feel entities, all these negative things and then these positive things, and it just things that started to happen to me when I came back was absolutely wild. And that's what changed my whole perspective. I was like, I have to find out what's going on, because I felt crazy. I felt nuts.
Right. So basically, what I'm gathering from this is this experience that you had sparked your curiosity. You wanted to take it further and investigate a little more. I completely get that. A lot of people start the paranormal because a show inspired them or something. I'm not going to lie, a show inspired me to start investigating. So it's amazing when people actually carry on after they have an experience, because curiosity is number one in the field, of course. So everybody has their own story, and it's nice to hear all the stories. So panel, feel free to jump in wherever you would like. Any questions, any of that. Same with you, audience. Feel free to ask questions and all that. I see we have Crossover Paranormal here. Welcome. Jonathan Myers over in North Carolina. North Carolina. There we go. We have Toronto, Canada, Facebook user. Welcome.
Oh, wow. Hey, Toronto.
We've reached Canada.
Nice.
We've actually reached Australia and stuff before,
Oh, wow.
Canada is just a couple hours from us, so I'm not too surprised. So
Oh, from you, all the way down in Georgia. I get what AJ's saying, by the way. I've had one of those near-death experience where I saw the light and I saw angel wings, and in the other corner there was nothing but solid darkness, and it was kind of like it was trying to suck me down, but
no.
I wasn't supposed to be there, so I dropped back down into my body and I woke up. And it's just like him, my sentences were heightened, everything about it turned different.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
I definitely understand that.
Can I ask, Anna, is that where you got the name for your team? Sixth Sense Paranormal?
Yeah, I've always kind of had a sixth sense since I was little. We've always lived in haunted houses. Things always seem to happen to us. So Sixth Sense Paranormal just made sense to me. It felt like it was just hitting the ball perfectly.
Absolutely. Most definitely. And it's just refreshing that all of us here are actually into this kind of stuff. We all investigate the paranormal and everything. So we have so many different perspectives here tonight. And AJ, we've absolutely been dying to get you on the show, man. You know, I talked to you a long time ago about this night. So
yeah, I didn't. I am glad you hit me up today because I totally forgot, to be honest. I
did too. I did too. When I looked at, I have an entire list, and I could say, guys, so season 4, we're doing 50 episodes. So there's a lot of freaking planning that goes into this season for sure. Past seasons was a lot of work too, but this compares to nothing. There's a lot. When I looked at it and seen Connecticut and seen who was on the show, I was super excited. I'm glad tonight is the night. So super exciting. So I wish I could find my list of questions that I ask everybody because I have some good questions on there. But I would start by asking maybe what would make Connecticut a good place for a tourist to come for paranormal activity?
Ooh, I'm not really into the whole tour of Connecticut because I think it's the most boring place in the ever. But when it comes to paranormal, as long as you came here and you scheduled certain places that are available for you to go into, like there's an armory in Ansonia that they allow. There's an opera house down in Derby, I believe, that they will allow investigations. I'm not sure because they're in renovation right now. But we also have the Warren House, which is right next to where I live in Monroe. You can go there and see the museum and all that, and everybody. So, yep, Warren Museum, as John knows. John's one of my friends and one of my parafam people. So,
sorry to hear that, John.
I know. Sorry to hear that, brother. But yeah,
I would love to go to that museum.
Oh yeah, I haven't got a chance to go, so I can't say that I've went. But I have to go because I live literally right next to it. Like,
I was about to say you literally live right there and you haven't gone. I should smack you.
I know.
I'll probably see that.
Okay. You been there?
No, I was commenting on that.
Oh, I thought you said you were there.
I wish.
Yeah.
We got to make it happen, AJ. You got to make it happen. I'd like to see that.
See, but the thing that I see, I'm really big into spirit communication, right? I love using the spirit box. I love doing that stuff. See, I'm not this type of person where I go in and I'm afraid because there's a demon or whatever. I go into the Warren Museum. I want to take out a recorder. I want to take out a spirit box, but they won't allow that because that's totally against their religious beliefs. And that's the reason why I think I've held myself back, because I'll be like a kid in a candy store, like, oh my God, that's possessed, or oh my God, that has a spirit in it. Oh my God, Annabelle, like. And I'd be all over the place with it, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of have held myself back because I'm like, you got to go there with respect. You can't go there like a kid in a candy store. You can't go there to investigate. You have to really respect their rules. And there's a reason they're set in place. And I think that I've been just waiting for myself to calm down about how cool that is that I live near it,
Absolutely, yeah. For sure. I mean, you had Anna so damn excited she threw her phone.
I did.
I
am so excited.
Sounds like an interesting place to go to. I mean, I know I would be all over the place if I had all them haunted artifacts around too. It'd be super cool. You know, I think number one that I would love to do is see the actual real Annabelle doll in person.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
Hell yeah.
I recently found out that Annabelle doesn't actually look like Annabelle from the movies. You know, it's like one of those Raggedy Ann dolls.
Old Raggedy Ann dolls.
Yeah, something like that. I just think it'd be super cool to see it in person, as well as a lot of other artifacts. You know, so that'd be cool.
The coolest thing that they have is Tony Spiro, who is the son-in-law of Ed and Lorraine Warren. He's actually carrying out a lot of the not classes but lectures that they do. So he'll bring in all of the evidence and stuff. And Lorraine used to be there with him, and Ed too. They used to come into the schools around here, and they would do lectures where you can go and see, and they would actually show you all of their evidence from the Conjuring House, from like all these real like investigations and all the like demonic voices they would catch and all this kind of stuff that they considered. And I found that really intriguing when I saw it.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds very cool for sure.
Very.
Yeah, so it was pretty awesome.
Just got me wanting to come to Connecticut already.
I know, me too.
Yeah,
So-
Carpool.
Right?
I'm so freaking
gonna
far
see
away
that.
though.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
mean,
see it.
Minnesota. Come on, why Minnesota?
Why
Yeah,
Washington?
exactly.
So, I mean, Casey gets it. He's right next to me, and it's not the best being up here. It's not, but Anna is always down there chilling in the sun or something because she's down south. So
I know.
I miss my good old Tennessee days. But so for real though, that would be super cool. Now, moving on. So considering we're in season 4 of MNSpiritCast, which wouldn't have it any other way with my panelists that I have every single week, super cool people. Season 4, we want to hear from our guests. What would 4 of their bucket list places be to investigate? Or, it doesn't even have to be in Connecticut. Where would you want to go, you know, Connecticut or outside of Connecticut to investigate?
That's totally easy for me because I already have it. It's number 1 would definitely be Waverly Hills Sanatorium. For some reason, I just had this pull to this place. I've never been there. I've seen it, obviously, but I've never been there. But ever since the first day I've seen it, for some reason, it's been pulling me in, and I've just been dying to go. I've been trying to hook up with Raymond to get out there, but other than that, it would be Winchester Mystery House. Then it would be probably Ancient Ramin over in the UK because I just love the UK. I love all the history that's over there. And then probably somewhere in Ireland. I'm not too sure where, but I would love to go somewhere overseas because the history there is just so much. Probably a castle, to be honest.
Now,
'Cause that was
picture this.
awesome.
Picture this.
Yeah,
Alcatraz.
that's pretty cool. But I
That
feel
would
like
be
I
super cool.
want to do something nobody's done yet. You know? And I feel like
Alcatraz has been done, hasn't it?
What was that?
Alcatraz has been done, I believe.
No, Alcatraz has been done, but I'm saying like I want to do something like maybe like a Roman Coliseum or like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, something crazy like that would because like what about these gladiators stuff? Can you connect with these entities? Connect with these beings? I'm wondering. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and see, to elaborate on that a little bit, when people hear paranormal, they think ghosts and spirits.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot more to paranormal than just ghosts and spirits. We got Bigfoot, we got aliens, we got gargoyles, we got all kinds of different things. And we still haven't proven the existence of ghosts and spirits. Sure, we get activity, and there's no way to explain any of that. But and you can't see any of them. So do we truly have real evidence that they're real? No. And will we ever? Probably not. But how can we prove the existence of Bigfoot and aliens? Who knows if aliens even walk amongst us, Because they could shift themselves into looking like us. So, Squeaker's down here to be a damn alien for all we know. So, not singling you out. Casey's one too. We all know that. But
I don't know about that one.
I just
love you guys.
I just have to say, this show wouldn't have been this show. This show wouldn't have been this show if Squeakers didn't mute herself in the beginning. I just want to say that. I love it.
Like I said, I lost my marbles in shipping and handling, so I mean.
Well,
Maybe she's a
hang
robot.
out-
I don't know.
you
Okay.
hang out with Marcus a lot, so I mean,
Jonathan
True.
says the Abbey
Abbey
Monastery in
Monastery.
Cannon City, Colorado.
Monastery.
Monastery. Look at me over here. Yeah, in Cannon City, Colorado. That sounds interesting. Never heard of it, but I would like to.
It's a great place. I tell you, he has caught some amazing stuff. They've caught even a telephone ringing, and there's no telephone connected down in the Abbey Monastery, and they've
wow.
actually caught the telephone ringing. And there was a guy who actually also got possessed in the group when he was with them, and this guy was like, he challenged, whatever was there, and he got what he deserved. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it's a pretty cool place, and he's caught some awesome stuff there.
I'd love to do
Sure.
Goatman's Bridge.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's another one of my favorites.
That's one of my tops, and I would love to go to Amityville. That place has a
Yes.
hold of me. I don't know why.
I don't even know much about that one, but from what everybody says, it's quite interesting.
No,
Yeah, like my boyfriend said, he wouldn't even go around the land that it's on. I would have to go by myself, which I don't
I'll go
mind.
with you.
Okay, we'll set it up. Because I've just got to draw to that place, and I don't know why.
Right?
Right.
yeah.
See, there's
Just done a lot of research.
I mean,
Go
there's
ahead.
things like that. I mean, people are drawn to certain things, and we don't know why. Like me, I keep having dreams and thoughts about New York, New York City, and all that. I've never been to New York whatsoever, but I can tell you exactly where some of the things in New York are. And a lot of people, I've talked about it on shows before. I could have possibly lived there in a past life. So,
You could have.
never know.
That's true.
Or you could have visited it in an astral plane.
Exactly. I was just about to say, let's come. Yeah, out of body type experience.
Yep.
Possibly.
That's it.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. Jonathan says old Montana State Prison was sick.
Yeah, we had a great time there. It was just me and
Ask
him.
AJ.
We rented out the entire Montana State Prison, just me and him. And we got to go night vision cameras, just me and him in the entire place alone. It was fucking, excuse my language, it was awesome. Sorry.
You're okay.
NC 17, people. You're good.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool, man. We had a great time.
AJ's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Getting too pumped up over here. I gotta calm down.
Trust me, we've had a lot worse.
All the phantoms, you know?
Oh,
You're cut up. You're cut off.
I'm cut off.
Guys, if you're just tuning into the show and you've never been here before, we like to goof around and have a good time on the show. Because who wants to tune into a show and see all seriousness? No fun in that. So super fun. So while we're on the subject of favorite places, what about everybody else? Where would you guys like to visit? You don't have to give me 4 places. I just want to know where you would visit. Squeakers, where would you want to go?
Well, I'm kind of up for anything because I haven't been. Well, I think the furthest out of the U.S. that I was Canada, so pretty much anywhere for me. But I'm partial to Seattle, and I really want to go there and do the underground. Pay just to be the only one down there, or the only team. So.
That would be cool, for sure. Anna, what about you?
Amityville House. And Goatman's Bridge 5 times.
There we go.
Yep.
Casey?
Ashmore Stakes, Illinois. I'm being drawn to that place as well. I've had like 5 or 6 dreams of that place already within the last month and a half. So I'm being pulled.
Me, myself, I like to visit the Mothman over in West Virginia.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that one would be super cool. But I think my number one would be the Viscala Axe Murder House. Just all of the history over there and all the stories that I heard. I think it would be cool. Oh, It's Rochelle. our very own medium. There she is. Welcome. I don't know why Facebook keeps doing it. Facebook keeps saying Facebook user. I mean, apparently they want you to like sign in under StreamYard or something, so we know who it is. I don't know, but that's Facebook for you. So, but yeah, super cool stuff. So, AJ, moving aside from your 4 favorite places, let's talk a little bit about Talking with the Source, because that is the title of the show tonight. So we know how you got started and everything. In the long run, what is your long-term goal with Talking with the Source?
It's funny because I was just having this conversation the other day, and at first it was just to do this. There was no really end goal. It was just kind of like just doing this to whenever. But now my thoughts have changed on it. My goal for the show is to get to a point where I can have a couple thousand people watching so that they can interact with their guests, and to have on well-known guests where they can come on and ask any of their favorite, paranormal investigators from TV or even locally any question that they would like to ask, and I think a lot of people, watch a lot of lives and can't get all the questions in. And of course, I'm not going to be able to, but I'm going to try my hardest to, because I think people just want that 5 seconds with that person to ask them a question about the field. And as long as it's a legit question, I'm like, hey, that's awesome. If it's just an I love you and stuff, I mean, I could put that up quick, but legit question. I think that's my main goal, is to get, enough people watching where, and also not just that, just to like get people minds open about this field more, make it more kind of mainstream, because it is getting really mainstream and I'm really happy where it's going. But I want to see the scientific community pick this up, because there is something more to this.
Yes.
We found it out scientifically with certain equipment, that electromagnetic fields and, all this stuff, magnetism works, and vibration and energy and frequency. So it's amazing to see. But that would be my end goal.
For sure. And, I think my intention with MNSpiritCast was fairly identical. But in the long run, what I wanted to do is open up a safe space for people to come, to know that there is somebody out there to help them if they're dealing with something negative or just activity in general, or to get in contact with loved ones or something like that, in a drama-free, judgment-free zone. And the reason we're doing all 50 states is so that people know, hey, here's a team in my state that can help me with what I'm dealing with. So, I mean, I think that and what you said is a pretty good long-term goal for a podcast, for sure.
It's a hard question to ask, because it's like there's so much that you want to do, know, and it's like because you're constantly evolving. There's always things that you want to come up that are like, I'm going to add this to it. I'm going to add this to it.
Right.
So it's great that you could do that. We could do that. We have the opportunity to do that.
Right. For sure. So, and so so do you have any short-term goals with the show? Like, is there specific guests that you're trying to book for the show, or a specific number of episodes you're trying to do?
No, there isn't really, man. We just, we just want to give local people and well-known people the chance to come on, tell their story and whatever. We don't really have, I don't really have too many, goals short-term. My only goal short-term, as guest-wise, would be to, actually get Nick Groff on. We've been in contact with his people, but I would like to get Nick on really badly. There's a lot of things I want to ask him about the field. I could care less about the past because it's already been answered for us, but I want to ask him about now and all the stuff he's doing, and I find it very fascinating, and where he's bringing the field. But for long-term, otherwise, I just, just living day by day, man,
Absolutely. So, we've talked about this on other shows before, because we have people on our show who strictly do podcasts and they don't investigate or anything like that. But with a podcast comes a whole lot more than just sitting on camera and talking with people. There's a whole process to having a podcast, as I go through every single week. That's why I have people on payroll, like Sarah. She gets paid a killing.
But yeah,
I wish. So, there's, like I said, there's a whole lot more to it. You got to go through booking. You got to deal with people dropping out at the last minute and all of that. So, what is your system for each and every podcast? Do you schedule ahead of time? Do you schedule a whole season at a time, or how do you do it?
Well, Robin is my co-host. He actually takes care of all the scheduling for me because I take care of all the marketing, all the editing, all the short stories, all the everything you see otherwise.
Yeah.
And basically, he'll take care of the guests, and we'll schedule them out for about 2 months out, and then we'll stop there. And then when we get like a month in, we'll then start scheduling another month out, just to have everybody scheduled. And then, I mean, if we have a cancellation, we choose whether or not we're going to go live. If it seems like a really great guest, we'll just reschedule and whatever. Even if it's not, we'll obviously reschedule. If it's not a well-known person, we don't mind. But we will choose whether or not to go live that day.
So very, yeah. I mean, it's a very good system that to have and all that, for sure. Now we have a a technical question for you. For spirit boxes, FM or AM, any difference?
Yes, the difference you're going to find with FM and AM is AM, obviously, you're not going to have a strong signal. AM is a very different kind of band, and you're probably not going to, it's not going to be as clear as you're going to get with FM. But the problem with FM that people see the most is that they're afraid that you're going to get, pieces of radio coming through. But that's part of the game. It's a matter of reviewing your evidence and picking out what parts actually are really answers and what really are just from spirit. I mean, from the spirit boxes, and that's really for me what the technical difference is for FM and AM. I mean, there's a more frequency and in-depth one that I would go into, but it's all scientific kind of stuff that not really necessary.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. FM is much better, and if you hear those little it's very, to me, it's easier to be able to pick out a small EVP of like yes or something like that than that kind of stuff.
You
just have to listen.
Maybe it's just me. After this, we'll take a little short break for a promotional video, and then I'll give the floor over to the panelists for questions. But for me, I think so. We have a app, and our team does use apps a lot because we don't know if they're real or if they're just feeding us lines of BS or something like that just to make money. So who knows? But for me, I think in the setting of the investigation, the spirit box static actually makes me lose focus in everything because it makes me zone out. It makes because we were sitting at a graveyard one time here in Mora, Minnesota, and we were doing a session on the spirit box on the phone app, and everything was piecing together the way it should have been. And then we switched over to the spirit box to see if anything would line up, if anything would, collide with what we were already getting. And once that spirit box static came on, I just lost focus of everything. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know who I was talking to or anything. So,
do you know why that was? I have a theory of why that was. The theory of mine is white noise has been used so much for people to fall asleep, relax, do everything like that. And I believe that frequency may have gotten you in a certain wavelength or whatever, that you literally were zoning out because of that reason. Like it was literally putting you in a relaxed state and all that type of stuff. I mean, then again, it could have been something completely spiritual. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm just saying maybe for that reason.
Well, see, at one investigation, we and this is over in Pine City, Minnesota. At one investigation, we were trying to connect with this little boy that we were dealing with, and I had to find a way to put myself in the spirit world, to go into the spirit world and talk to this little boy like, hey, this is who I am. These are my people, and this is a safe space to talk to us, and this is what we need you for. So I had to find a way to get into the spirit world. So I went and I sat in the car, and it was completely quiet. All of my team was outside investigating. So I got in the car and I turned the spirit box on just to see if any of those voices or noises came through. And that static actually helped me get closer and closer to the spirit world. So I guess it all depends on my state of mind, for one, where I'm sitting with what my thoughts and what I'm thinking. And like you said, the white noise just relaxes the body and helps you sleep and all that. So, very well could be very interesting to look into. So, with that being said, we'll go to a short break. When we come back, we will have Anna, Squeakers, and Casey available to ask questions to AJ about his show and a lot more, and audience may jump in as well. Johnson says, heart is not aligned with mind or intention.
Maybe.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. Well, we'll jump into our promo here, and we'll see you afterwards.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it is.
So, do you guys have any questions for me?
Hey guys, Marcus will be right back.
Huh. We're always waiting on him, aren't we?
Just a second.
I have one, AJ.
All right.
AJ,
where's your most active place you've ever been?
On your show.
Oh wait,
Sorry,
someone.
Sorry, hold on 1 second.
Squeakers. Go ahead, Squeakers.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, how much money? Technical pal, I apologize. 1 second.
What's the most active place you've been to, AJ?
I would actually honestly say that, well, you know, it's weird because as a location, Montana State Prison was by far the most awesome place that I've been to so far.
Yeah.
But like for evidence-wise and stuff like that, my house that I lived in with my grandmother when all of this started was the most active place that I've ever seen. I had a full-bodied apparition solidly appear in my room, and then 2 weeks later, appeared in front of my entire family during dinner. And when I mean solid as me and you. This girl was in a white dress. She was in a white dress. It was an old Victorian type dress, and she had black hair. It was beautiful. But in my room when she appeared, she looked like the girl from The Ring. It was the scariest thing.
I would have passed out.
I woke up out of the sleep because of it. Okay, and I saw her standing at the foot of my bed. You know how scary that is? I had my girlfriend next to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I froze and I went to go grab my camera, and as I grabbed my camera and went to go take a picture, she literally just evaporated in air. Like it was like a pile of leaves being picked up by the wind, and it was the craziest experience I've ever had. And I was like, nobody's gonna believe me. This is stupid, right? And then 2 weeks later, when she appeared in front of my family, I just couldn't believe it. We were all there for dinner, and I was just shocked. But you know what? A lot of people say to me, they're like, well, what if that was a negative spirit? Because, you know, my family all passed away in 2020 not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just randomly.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you. COVID and stuff like that. So everyone's always like, well, what if that was a negative spirit warning you and all this stuff? And I don't believe that at all. But it just sucked that I don't have my family there, so I could be like, guys, come and tell them the truth, like, because it's hard because nobody's gonna believe you. You know what I mean? It's really hard.
Right.
So,
Well,
It's always hard.
yeah.
They won't believe you until they see it themselves.
Exactly. But if they don't see it, then they don't believe it.
But I mean, I'm the same way though. If I don't see it, I may not believe it. So, but I mean, I do believe it now because of my experiences, obviously. But if you were to tell me, oh, I ran into a Bigfoot yesterday, I'm not in that field technically with Bigfoot. So, I mean, I'm in the field, but I'm not, but I would be like, oh, no, I don't study that. I don't believe that. I'd have to see it.
But that's okay. That's the beyond part of being in the paranormal. That's why
it is.
I like
the
paranormal and beyond, because it brings a wider perspective of it.
Now, who believes, like, as far as Bigfoot and UFOs and aliens, who's like more into that, or who believes more into that?
I personally believe in the alien thing, and it's just because of recent events and certain things that I've seen, and it was from a friend. When I was younger, I had this friend that he hacked into the files of the government. He ended up getting in trouble for it. They ended up hiring him away.
No.
Like all this shit. Yeah, it was really wild. And they ended up taking him away, giving him a job, I guess. Because we never saw this kid again. Like the house got swarmed. It was wild. But he told us that they were going to release alien contact between the years 2016 and 2025. And what's so wild is that all of this stuff just came out, and it's 2022, 23. You know what I'm saying? When it came out. So it's like, wow, man, how are you in? And this was back in the day, like in the 90s, like 99, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like it was a long time ago, and I'm like, I couldn't believe this kid was accurate. So he must have stumbled on something.
Facebook.
I mean, wow.
No.
I didn't believe him. I honestly didn't believe him. I'm like, yeah, dude, whatever, dude. We're 12 years old. What are you talking about? I
would have said the same thing.
Yeah, I would have been like, whatever, man, But this kid was so talented, and then after, when it actually came out like this, I'm like, this kid was right this whole time. Like, what the hell? This is wild.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, John just said Wednesday Congress is having a panel on it, and it's true. There's another.
Is everybody going to Paracon?
I can't make it this year. I'm in a bit of a pickle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Casey's going. AJ, are you going?
We have one up here in July. I'm going to try and go, but I'm not too sure if I'll be able to make it.
Okay.
Oh, now he's on the right street.
Oh, no. Well, we thought we were going to rag on him.
Oh, yeah.
He just left us hanging.
Yeah.
But,
so
his own show.
AJ, you just had, I believe, Amy from Kindred Spirits on.
Yeah.
Is that correct? How did that go?
No, it was not Amy. It was Heather.
Heather, thank you.
Yep.
My mistake.
Yep.
How did that go? How did you feel afterwards, and how does the process of getting your guests? Do you stay in communication with Robin the whole time?
Yeah, no, totally. I stay in communication with Robin. Robin will normally email me, or not email me, but message me when he has emailed somebody. And I'll be like, oh, that's awesome. And having her on was absolutely amazing. We're now really great friends. We actually promote Greystone Manor, which is in New York, where she actually owns and operates. And it's a place you can go and investigate. And it's only this guy. You show up late, you're not even in the camera. I am disgusted. No, I'm joking.
Sorry, guys. My sister was going home, so I had to take a little break there. So.
No, you're good.
You're good.
But, but speakers, that was all I was going to say. Was basically he'll send me an email or a message, let me know who he got, and then we'll wait for the email. He'll tell me what the email is, and then basically we'll have him on. But Heather's been a great friend. We've had her on twice now. And the last time we had her on, she was able to actually pinpoint our spirit guides by name and by description that we found out, me, John, and Robin, that we found out like a year ago from my medium that I work with. And she hit it on the nail live on the show. And it was absolutely awesome to see.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I haven't been able to
That is
catch up
cool.
lately.
Yeah, it's all good.
I've got a few to catch up on myself.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to sit and watch them. I tell you, it kind of is sometimes. So I get it.
Well, and then there's different ones. I mean, I can't catch all of them, so I have to like pick and choose between whose I see
Yeah.
during what week, and
Yep. Okay.
So that's why you've been absent.
yes, some of it,
I'm kidding.
and my mouth surgery. So
Excuses.
I know, right?
Yeah, talk about someone that missed 3 weeks.
That's super cool. I was listening a little bit because I could hear you guys, but that's super cool what you were talking about there. Very cool.
Thanks.
What's that?
Oh, I said thank you.
Oh, no problem. So yeah, I overheard a little bit of it. So, you guys have any more questions for him?
Have you ever come across any Bigfoot sightings?
No, I haven't come across a Bigfoot sighting. When I was younger, I had this one experience. We camped out in the woods, and I heard something in the night that was really, it sounded big. But then again, like I said, I didn't look. I was young. It could have been a bear. I have no idea. But like I said, I'm not too much into the whole Bigfoot thing. I mean, it has opened my eyes recently. Some things that I have seen and have studied. It does obviously beg the question, like, I do believe that there is a primate that is in our wilderness that is giant, that is whatever, that it has the intelligence to evade us. I mean, we aren't really looking. I mean, if we do look, there's such a vast area to look. How can we find them, and pinpoint them? But there is people that have ran into them that have video and that have good video. And there's this one guy that has perfect video, 4K footage of a creature. And it's close up. You can see the eyes, the face detail, everything. I got to get the name of his YouTube. But nobody believes this guy. And I'm telling you, it's a straight up Bigfoot for real. And I honestly do think it's real. I don't think it's a fake. I really, it's the first time I've ever seen something I could say that I don't think it's fake.
Wow, I want to see that.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was on, the guy was on Survivor Man, and it was the Bigfoot edition. Yeah, he was on Survivor Man. It was the Bigfoot edition. So go look up.
Okay, I'll look that up.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
For sure. Yeah. There's a show called Expedition Bigfoot or something like that as well.
Yep.
And they have some pretty cool captures on there. But like you said, it could be bears or gorillas or something like that. Yeah. Who knows? Until you put the true deep research into it, we never know. So.
You know what? I just interviewed a gentleman called C. Wayne Wilson, I believe his full name is. He did My Journey with Monsters, and a part of that, his favorite cryptid is Bigfoot. He's got some pretty good stuff that you might want to go see on YouTube.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I love everything unexplained. That's just my thing.
Yep.
I feel there's so much that we don't know,
Yeah.
How about Skinwalker Ranch?
Oh my gosh, I would love to go there and investigate. Oh my God, that would be such an amazing place.
Top 3.
I forgot that place.
I want to see the dog with yellow eyes. I want to see it.
I can't say the word, but I would totally just drop. I've seen hellhounds before, and my perspective of hellhounds is not like everybody else's. I think that they're just there to guard. I don't think that they're evil.
Yeah.
But if I were to, I had this phobia of dogs smiling since Pet Cemetery, and I just can't do it. I couldn't do it. You would see the white and the fat just drop completely off the squeakers because I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Squeakers would have just dissolved into nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll pay to watch.
Do
a special on it.
Yep.
It would not be pretty.
That's funny. So, considering, all of these things that we're talking about are potential cryptids in the world of the paranormal, what is you guys' all-time favorite cryptid that legend has exists?
Who wants to go first?
You
got the spotlight, buddy.
I was just gonna say, I don't know, man. For me, because I love werewolves, so it's like a werewolf type thing, like Wolfman or something like that, or whatever you want to call them. Like, yeah, that would probably be mine. I don't know why. I just had this thing with wolves since I was a kid.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Is that your spirit animal?
I have no idea, to be honest. I never asked, to be honest. Yeah.
Werewolf,
So yeah.
You should
Gray
find
wolf is
out.
mine.
Yeah.
Casey,
What's that?
your favorite cryptid?
I'd have to say the werewolf too, just because the gray wolf, because they're all connected.
Yeah.
The gray wolf was part of my tribe and my spirit animal, so I'd have to say the werewolf.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Squeakers?
You gotta know it because I'm from Washington. Bigfoot. He's always been a favorite, and actually, my Bigfoot is actually in storage. So, but
Oh my gosh.
How'd you fit a big Bigfoot in the storage unit?
How do you stay in there?
Right? It's one of those dolls from.
He's got to duck pretty low, I suppose.
Right? I
Or
shrunk
lay
him and I
down.
put him in my pocket. Okay. I wanted to keep him. That's why he's been hiding all these years.
That's funny.
I'm calling the feds.
Right?
What about you, Anna?
Other than wolves, I love wolves too. Other than wolves, I would have to say the Jersey Devil.
Oh, yeah.
Those things
Yeah.
freak me out,
That's
too.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would have to say mine would be the El Chupacabra.
Oh, that's a good one. I was gonna go with that one too. That's a good one.
I have a better mind. I thought of it for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding. That's super cool. So before we wrap up our show tonight, AJ, I want to get a little bit more into your investigation side of the paranormal. So obviously everybody has their own style of conducting a paranormal investigation, but there's nothing compared to investigation than setup. So everybody has their own way of setting up for an investigation. So I guess my question for you is, do you have a pre-investigation process or setup that you do, like with your equipment? Do you do a walkthrough before you conduct an investigation? How do you do that?
Yeah, no, I do a walkthrough. Always do a walkthrough because I want to see if I pick up on anything, if I feel anything, where are the hot spots for me, where I feel pulled the most. So I'll do a walkthrough, like we did at Montana. And I'll also one of the major things is always make sure you have extra batteries because that sucks. Let me just say, that's the worst.
Especially with me. I need to keep a phone charger because the myth out there is that my phone don't stay charged.
Dude, I tell you
Thanks
what,
a lot, Baron.
I use the power bank on my camera because it was just dying left and right. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, so batteries obviously is a normal thing. But other than that, I mean, I really don't have some normal things besides trying to just go over a plan, or kind of like a structured plan. Yeah, see, there you go. That's what you
Oh
mean.
wow.
Yeah,
You're real prepared.
Yep.
Oh no, this is just my paranormal equipment scattered all over the place. That's my batteries.
No.
Okay, you got a ton of batteries.
I mean, so I agree with you. We even got these, and we barely use these, for any equipment. But we got AAAs, AA's, we have C's, D's, all of that. Batteries is number one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
I don't leave without at least 3 backup pairs of batteries for my computer, SLS, or for video recording.
Right.
And you wonder if that's going to be enough sometimes.
Yeah, I know, right? You think, oh crap.
I ask the ghost every time. I ask the spirits every time I go somewhere. I'm like, listen, just please, you could do anything you want to me. Just please don't drain my batteries. That's all I ask.
Right.
Well, sometimes it's nice.
You'll get that one smart ass.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
You take my life for all I care. Just don't take my battery life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know?
Sometimes you could just be in a really high energized area and it's going to
Yeah.
drain your battery. And
Yeah. There's the we visited the Boyd House here in Minnesota 2 times. And not kidding, every time we went up, everything was fine. We went up to the base or to the attic, and every single time we went up there, we had a laser grid pin that shines on the wall, and if something walks in front of it, it shows a shadow. I kid you not, within 10 minutes, we went through 5 sets of batteries. It was insane.
Wow.
I don't know if it's because it was cold, super cold up there, or if it was because of the paranormal activity. Who knows? But that's why we got all these bad boys right over here. So
that's happened to me before. Showed up to a location and nothing worked.
Right. Just crazy. Now, AJ, I was going to elaborate a little bit on your walkthrough thing. What if the case is too far for you to drive just for a walkthrough? What happens?
Well, like I said, if it's too far for me, I mean, if it's anywhere in Connecticut, I'll make it. But if it's out of state, that's when I call somebody else if I have to. You know, if I have to.
Okay, so let's use, not to cut you off, but let's use this case scenario. What if you are going to conduct the full-scale investigation, but you don't want to drive that far just for a walkthrough before the investigation?
Well, I personally, I operate a little different. I would do that. I mean, even though it sounds stupid, I would go there first and do a walkthrough maybe. I mean, it all depends. It goes based on case by case. Yeah, he calls JK-47. Yeah.
JK-47.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's based on case basis. So it's like, I may do my walkthrough when I do my investigation. You know, it all depends on the case by case, like what people are experiencing, what they're going through. If I feel it's necessary, it depends. You know, like I said, it's hard to say which one.
Absolutely. Now, let's turn the attention to after the investigation. Do you have a post-investigation process?
Basically, I close my circle. I close my whatever you want to call it to shut myself down so that nothing follows me home. Do a little protection thing. And then obviously I head out. But there's, like I said, when you come to like residential type cases and stuff like that, like I just got away from all that recently. I've been doing my own just investigations and my own private type stuff because I wanted to get out of that scene. I didn't really like it, and everybody, is into it now. And I don't know. I'm always looking for something different for some reason. And, but when I was doing it, you're right. Like, like you said, when you leave, there's certain things you have to do for a client, so it's different. It's really weird, like I said, because like I said, I'm not really into the residential anymore, so I'm more into my private stuff now. So in communication, because I love the communication aspect. The things that we've been getting communication-wise has been out of this world, man. Absolutely out of this world.
That's fantastic, for sure. Now, there are some cases where we personally leave, like, we do sage almost every location that we can. Before we sage, we have a waiver stating what sage is, how it's used, and the effects that sage can cause. That way, nobody is dumbfounded if something, if they get sick after we sage or something. Once they sign that waiver, we're not responsible for that.
Communication.
All of that. So what I'm getting at is, if we have to, we'll sage and everything, and then we'll leave protection crystals or something with them, or some type of essential oil or something just to protect them. Do you believe in leaving things with the client that they're going to need to keep it the way it should be?
If it's necessary, like I said, absolutely. Like, and especially the sage thing, I would leave, it depends, like I said, on the situation. I would leave sage and I would leave Palo Santo wood. Because Palo Santo wood brings in the positive energy.
Exactly.
And sage neutralizes entire energy. So you would want to neutralize it, and then there you go. Obviously bring in the positive energy. And I
have some just like that.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
2 things. I love the Palo Santo one. I love it. It's great.
I do too. I love it.
Yeah.
We have over 4 different kinds of sage with us at all times. We of course bring our Palo Santos with us. but I have found that some stores here in Minnesota are my weakness when we go there because they have metaphysical stuff and I can't help myself.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I found
Talk about
all
it, getting
kinds
the
of
candy
different
store.
sage. Like we have black sage. So this is
Ooh,
the black sage. It's pretty cool.
that is
We
cool.
have white with cinnamon.
Ooh,
Wow.
that must
If
smell
you guys
good.
can see it there, and I labeled all the bags so I know which one I'm using when I take it out.
Yeah.
And then we have this one, which I thought was super cool, and I had to have it.
Oh,
Dragon blood.
hell yeah.
Dragon blood sage.
Hell yeah.
We also have
That's my
floral sage, basic sage, green sage, all different kinds of sage. So
Holy crap, you are covered.
Yeah.
I like to spend money. What can I say?
I like to spend money.
Yeah, until you get in trouble with the wife, then you're screwed.
And and it all depends on the severity of the case, on what kind. Excuse me. It all depends on what kind of sage we're gonna use, depending on the case. And holy crap, that white one smells like 420.
Does it really?
That's a little much. I promise it's sage.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet Marcus. He calls that one fire. Yeah.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah.
I'll send you some.
There you go. There you go.
Oh boy. But yeah, so I mean I just think the process, and if people don't know with what Palo Santos, I'm probably saying it wrong, but if people don't know what it is, this is what it looks like. It's basically just, if you can see, we have used it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we burn it at like right here, just right here. I can't even count how many we have.
Man, I love Palo Santo wood.
All of these are used. So what I like to do is I like to give each team member of mine a stick of Palo Santo, and then a couple different ones. I like to give them a stick of sage, and we split up in the place, and we like to light everything, and we like to do each part of the building one by one, and then we'll just all walk around and do it. That way we make sure we're extra safe. So there is metaphysical stuff that you can use and you can leave with the client too. Don't be afraid to leave anything with the client if you think it's going to help them to stay the way you need it to be and for it to be successful. Because guys, Palo Santos, or however you say it, it's super cheap. I got packs of it for like $3 for 6 sticks. So it's super cheap. So don't be afraid to leave things. Protection crystals you can leave if you think it's going to protect them, and all that, because in the end it's all replaceable and you can get more. So if you think it's going to help the resident, go ahead and leave it, and that means you've done your job right. So I can go on and on about all this, but I'm pretty sure people have their things to do after the show here. Jonathan says, I used to use salt water and know my spirit guides get rid of problems.
Right? Salt water, you would never think it helps.
Yeah, and see, we even take little bowls and just pour kosher salt in it.
Yeah.
And just leave it sitting out, or we'll put it in the windowsills and the doorways and everything, just to keep those spirits out. Like the case we done over in Finlayson, Minnesota, that I can't disclose anything, although I want to, but I gotta wait for the episode to come out. So there's a bunch of different things you can do.
Before we go, I want to say one last thing to what you were just saying. So now, you know how we do these little superstitious things where we put our, salt in front of the doors and in front of the windows, certain things that we do as investigators and whatnot. I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, so down to the cellular level of our bodies, each cell gives off 0.07 volts. You have over 3 trillion cells or 30 trillion cells, whatever it is, right? So we're a walking nuclear power plant. So that energy, if we're a spiritual being that leaves our body, obviously that energy leaves our body, it goes somewhere, as we know. So the thing is, that spiritual being, if it's so powerful that we think it is, right, why would it stop itself by salt? Think of it, right? So I always wonder to myself when I put it down, I always wonder to myself, like, is the spirit really going to do, like, not come in because of this? Or are they just going to look at me and go, really? You're going to waste salt? You know what I mean? Like, well, you could use that on your chicken. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I absolutely don't. I believe it is a superstition, but, you know, there's also the method where you can put down flour or something on the floor.
I didn't mean to say, I shouldn't have said superstitious, because I don't say it as superstitious, because I believe that it does help. I believe that it does work.
Yes.
But I think it's the intent too behind it as well. You know what I mean? That we put into it, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know how many times we walk into these places and these spirits probably say, "Look at these jackasses." You know, just saying. But I mean, I believe they make fun of us just like we make fun of people. You know.
Oh, I agree.
Many times. Jonathan says I sprayed the whole house. So.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of even kitchen remedies that you can use, like spices and herbs that you can throw together and just spray it around the house, and that should help right there too. So that's another method that might or might not work. So, you know, it's all about the intent for sure. So before we wrap up here tonight, AJ, do you got any questions for Minnesota Spirit Hunters you'd like to know?
I just want to know, when is the next time you guys are going out and investigating?
August.
Awesome. Whereabouts?
Ogilvie, Minnesota. So yeah, we're going to be going over there. We also have a house that we're going to be doing next month. And my sister that was here, we got to go back to her house and cleanse that and everything. So I say we have about 3 cases next month. So it's going to be a busy month. On top of all the podcasts and the photo shoots and all of this and that, we have a lot to do. So
nice.
That is so great.
I have one next week.
I've got one.
The one, the girl that is terrified of this negative energy that's in her house and in her room. She thinks she's being followed. She thinks she's being targeted. So I'm going to their house. It's a friend of mine.
If you need any help, my head will float.
Yeah, if I need any help, I'll be like, okay, I need you, and you. Get online now.
Well, I'm just saying now, there's not a single person on this panel that I've met in person, and I would like to meet all of you guys.
Same here. Feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
Well, October, I better see your ass in Illinois.
You will see me in Illinois.
Perfect.
2024 or is it 2025 is our Paracon, Marcus?
Our Paracon in Iowa is going to be 25.
Okay, 25.
In Illinois, you said October 7th?
October 7th, yep.
Got it.
Squeakers, you know what's funnier than 24?
What?
25.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he
was. And Marcus, that Paracon on the 7th is the weekend before, right after my birthday.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
October 2nd.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very cool. Come for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, guys. Well, AJ, we can't thank you enough for coming and being a part of the Hunters tonight. We absolutely appreciate it. You are always welcome back. It's an absolutely open door for you here on Minnesota SpiritCast. And if you're up for the drive, we have plenty of investigations we would love to have you join us on. So all you got to do is reach out, man.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, yeah, no problem. And I look forward to talking to you again. You know, you've been a great guest. And Jonathan, I appreciate all the effort and what do I say? Participation in the audience tonight. Mr. JK47 over there.
Yep.
So, but we absolutely appreciate you coming on, sharing a little bit about your team and talking with the source and much more. And hope to see you here on the panel once again in the future. So,
definitely. I would love to be back on. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Just reach out and we'll get you on. So, have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Bye.
And Anna, same with you. Thank you for coming to being our guest panelist here tonight. I know you're going to be our actual guest here coming up pretty soon, so that'll be cool as well. But
yes,
it was good
I'm
to
excited.
actually meet you on video instead of chatting with text.
Yes,
So,
it was nice to meet you.
And me too.
Good to
feel
see
free to reach
Casey.
out and we'll get you back on here on the panel. So for sure.
That sounds good. I would love it. Thank you.
No problem.
Yep.
You have a good night.
You too, Marcus. Bye, guys. Spread love.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Squeakers.
And Squeakers, always a pleasure with you as well. Keep
Yep.
squeaking, doing your thing. You're
Keep
doing.
squeaking.
Oh, hey, Marcus, I want
Doing.
to meet up with you after the show, by the way, too.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I
Sounds
need to talk to you as well.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, Squeakers, we appreciate you being on here with us once again and helping us get through the show again tonight. And you know you're always welcome here on the panel. So next week you're my co-host, so that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm moving, and I gotta look at my schedule because I got another procedure I gotta do with my mouth. So.
Well, we wish you all the best luck with that. You know, we're always here to chat and much more. So, but until then, Squeakers, I'll see you behind stage. But thanks for coming on and conducting the show with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll need to talk to you as well, Marcus. So.
Okay, Squeakers, get the hell off my panel. All right. Well, Casey, thank you very much for helping me co-host this show and talking with AJ about his team and much more, and just having a good time overall. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm glad you and Squeakers and a lot more people are here along for the ride with us. So,
if you ever need any more help with the podcasting and all that other stuff, let me know. I can help.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I think it was a great show. You did a good job as co-host, as always, and it's much appreciated. So, if you need, hang backstage, and I'll chat with you.
I'll hang backstage.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you then.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Well, thank you guys for being here with us for this Connecticut show tonight and coming to get to know a little bit about AJ and what he does and the state of Connecticut. So I want to remind everybody, if you guys see this right here, this Minnesota Spirit Hunters hat, pretty soon we're going to be opening up a merchandise shop so you can collect one of these yourself. Request some t-shirts, hoodies, coffee cups, drinking mugs, and a lot more. So keep a lookout for that because I want to open up a merch shop and get that out there for you guys. And like I said, we'll be over in Illinois in October. So if you want to see us, make your way out to the Illinois Paracon, and we'll share a lot more info on that here coming up soon. So it's all we got time for, but join us next week on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time because we have the paranormal or para-abnormal out of Arizona, and that is Jason Graham, the founder of Para-Abnormal. So join us then, but until then, that's all we got for tonight. Have a good night. Happy hunting.